This looks simple. Same rice, same kitchen. So why does your body react to it like it's a different meal? In the next few minutes, based on patterns seen across controlled feeding studies, we'll track what changes before the first bite even reaches your blood. Same ingredients, same calories, but inside your body, completely different instructions. If you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, you have most probably been told avoid sugar, avoid carbs. But now, in large population studies, scientists have proved that two persons can have the exact same meal and still their sugar spikes may differ because there's an entirely different system within our body which decides how much sugar will be absorbed and how the spike will behave. Most of what you eat is absorbed here, but not all of it. What doesn't get absorbed reaches your gut microbes. They break it down differently, producing compounds that help your body manage glucose. So one part of your meal affects this spike and another part changes how your body responds next time. So it all depends on the food, how easily it can be broken down, how quickly the nutrients can be absorbed in the small intestine, and the gut microbiomes, what reaches there and how they behave. How we cook the food and eat determines all of this. Some parts of your meal never become glucose at all. They reach your gut microbes where they are turned into small molecules called short chain fatty acids. These improve how your body responds to sugar. So your response to food depends on what reaches your blood and what reaches your microbes. For people with stable blood sugar, these gut microbiomes, they are very diverse and very healthy. They are very good at processing what you eat. This is why the same meal can behave differently in two people. In one body, more of that food is slowed, redirected. In another, it moves quickly and spikes. So it's not only about what you eat, it's also about how fast your body absorbs it and what gets diverted to the gut microbiome. From cooking and eating perspective, we can now look at some strategies. How can we put the brake on to slow that process and divert more food to the gut microbes? It starts with structure. When food stays intact, your body has to work to break it down. But the more it's broken down by overcooking or blending, the faster glucose becomes available. And speed is what creates the spike. This is where strategies like resistant starch comes in. We are taught leftovers are just convenience, but something else is happening. As starch is cool, it reorganizes. Some of it becomes resistant starch, meaning your body digests it slower. Instead, it travels to your gut microbes. For a deep dive into how resistant starch helps manage sugar spikes, watch the Vital Cook resistant starch video. Link is in the description box. Cook once, cool, and reheat. You are feeding a different system entirely. And that system doesn't spike glucose the same way. Additionally, it is a wonderful time saver. Batch cook ahead. So the composition of the starch can be transformed by cooking and cooling it, helping it decide where it goes and where it gets absorbed. Additionally, how you build your meal decides how fast it gets there. In most kitchens, you don't think about order. You eat what's closest or what you like most first. That default habit is quietly working against you. Same meal, same ingredients. Just change the order. Start with vegetables, then protein and carbs last. No restriction or new foods. Just a different sequence will bring you a different response. When carbohydrates are eaten first, they are broken down into glucose, which is absorbed immediately in the small intestine. And glucose enters your blood faster. But when that same carbohydrate is eaten with some fiber and protein and fat, they all forms a cushion around it and delays the breaking down of the carbohydrates, slowing down the process of glucose formation. The Vital Cook eating order video explains the full science and shows you how your eating order can impact your health. The same meal, same ingredients can give you a completely different health experience just by changing the order in which you eat it. This isn't a new thing. It's what you are already doing in your one-pot meals. This is where your one-pot meal always begins, with a base. When fiber cooks into that base, it forms a kind of barrier, slowing how quickly starch is broken down. That oil you started with is not just for flavor. It slows down how quickly meal leaves your stomach. And when carbs go in, they don't cook alone. They are surrounded by everything you have already built in. If your base includes something acidic, that slows digestion even further. And because everything is cooked together, the structure stays more intact compared to cooking each part separately. Watch the Vital Cook video on one pot meals to understand how this combined food matrix helps your health. This isn't about any specific cuisine. It shows up in almost every kitchen. The same meal, built slightly differently, can change your health issues. This is rice, fresh off the stove. Vegetables cooked until very soft, maybe pressure cooked or overboiled. Same meal, but now the rice was cooked earlier, cooled, and reheated, helping to convert the starch to behave more like fibers. The vegetables are lightly steamed, not overcooked. They hold their shape, and not all plant cells are broken down. And part of this version never becomes immediate glucose. Bread, soft, warm, refined, absorbing everything quickly. Same idea, but now the bread is more intact. The stew is thicker, richer in fiber, and they are not collapsing into each other. So digestion slows before it even begins. Pasta, cooked until soft, sauce blended smooth. Same pasta, but now it's cooked just until firm, al dente. The sauce keeps its texture and everything is cooked together. So it takes longer to break down. Different cuisines, same pattern. In each of these, more of the meal reaches your gut microbes. And that doesn't just slow the spike, it changes how your body handles the next one. So you have seen, you simply changed how you are cooking things. And that made a big difference in how you are experiencing your spikes. If you struggle to find ways to cook or build your meals in a sugar-friendly way, you can find a lot of reference videos here in this playlist. And for any personal guidance, or if you're struggling with anything there, please feel free to reach out, and I'm here to help. The difference was never the rice, it was the structure you created before eating it. But it is also important to bring in variation. When that structure never changes, your system stops adapting. Like, share, and subscribe on YouTube for more such everyday cooking tips to enhance your health.